I'm a targeted individual. I came into contact with a targeted individual at a mental health clinic where I worked as a social worker. Prior to that, I was not experiencing the symptoms of a targeted individual. So no voice to skull, no electronic torture, no electronic harassment. After that, I began getting shocked at night, getting shocked awake, intentionally sleep deprived by an intelligent being, most likely a person, a human being. And I'm going to persuasively argue that the targeted individual community is possible and real. I'd like to note that this sounds much like MD John Hall, medical doctor John Hall, came into contact with a targeted individual and then afterwards became a targeted individual. So 1, the U.S. government keeps things secret. The U.S. military, the U.S. government keeps things secret. I know this sounds kind of like a duh, but this is a persuasive argument. So the atomic bomb was attempted to be concealed from the public because if the public knew, the Germans would know and they would develop, and we lose our edge in the arms race. So the U.S. government keeps things secret. As we saw in the popular movie Snowden, the NSA said, if Congress knows about it, the enemy knows about it. So the NSA keeps things secret from the public. So general technologies are kept secret from the public. Lastly, the U.S. Navy has a submarine that is controlled remotely, entirely unmanned, empty vessel. The submarine is top secret. So again, things are kept top secret. This is a duh. So we've admitted and accepted the U.S. military keeps things secret. 2, the U.S. military has attempted mind control. The Manchurian Candidate was a popular movie that depicted this, where psychological torture and LSD was used to achieve mind control. MK Ultra was a CIA program much like this, where they attempted psychological torture to achieve mind control. So it is sort of common knowledge the U.S. military, the CIA, the U.S. government has attempted mind control. So now we've accepted these 2 things. 3, if the U.S. military had achieved mind control, would we know about it? Do you think we know about it? Absolutely not. Absolutely fucking not, because if we knew about it, the enemy would know about it, and they'd be attempting mind control, and then the pet president and his little red button on those nuclear weapons would be at risk, because somebody would achieve it, and then they'd make Donald Trump push that little red button, and then we'd all be fucked. So absolutely not. We would not know about mind control if they achieved it. 4, is mind control possible? Transcranial magnetic stimulation is a procedure used in hospitals every day, day in and day out, and it works through the air with magnetic fields. So transcranially, magnetic fields are applied to a person's brain, and they activate your nervous system. They activate your nervous cells, your brain cells, and very specific nervous cells. It's nervous cells for happiness. But it doesn't have to be nervous cells for happiness. You could target your brain cells for sight, for vision, for hearing, for thinking, anything. Any of your brain cells, you can target them. So the idea with transcranial magnetic stimulation is, let me stimulate your brain cells that make you happy over and over again, really fast, like 1,000 times in a second. And then those brain cells get strengthened, and you walk around feeling happy for the rest of the time. So now we know that your brain can be turned on and activated through the air transcranially with magnetic fields. Okay. So now we know that it's possible to manipulate a person's brain through the air. Okay, here's the big one. I saw a TED Talk recently, and you can watch this TED Talk if you wanted to. It was by a PhD, Nobel laureate brain scientist. So reputable, amazing guy. Just, he's bringing this stuff to light. Because of this guy, the community is going to end up knowing about this stuff. So what this guy talked about is they hooked up one guy to an EEG, an electroencephalogram, something that reads your brain waves. And they hooked up a second guy to a transcranial magnetic stimulation. So the idea was, they showed the first guy a light, and the EEG read what he saw, so it read the brainwaves, and they took the second guy and they used the transcranial magnetic stimulation and to make his brainwaves look like the first guy's brainwaves. So they showed the first guy a light, and the second guy was in a different room on another continent, and via the internet, they hooked up the guy to transcranial magnetic stimulation, and the second guy in a different room on another continent saw what the first guy saw. Here we are. Fact. The TI community has been happening, is being concealed from the public, and innocent people are being tortured. To recap, 1, transcranial magnetic stimulation Sorry, I'm running out of time. So 1, the U.S. government keeps things secret. The U.S. military keeps things secret. 2, the U.S. military, the U.S. government has attempted mind control. 3, I think you know where I'm going with this. This is happening.